Hi, I'm Jess, and I interviewed my roommate Lindsay, who's Jewish, and I chose to interview her because I am Christian.
And I'm Ling. I introduced my partner Steve. He's from America, and I chose him because the culture of him is really different from mine.
Hi, and I'm Dymin, and I chose to interview a guy named Fabio, and he's from Brazil. And the reason why I chose him is because I noticed that he had issues interacting with people that were culturally different from him.
So my section is the analysis of learning, and which is analyzing the different strategies that each of our interviewees had for studying in classes. So the first question that we asked was, what is like their favorite part of school and like which classes do they learn the most? And my roommate, who was Jewish, and Diamond's interviewee, I guess, who was Brazilian, both said lectures because they don't have to speak, which is kind of interesting. I understand the Brazilian aspect because it's not his first language, but my roommate is just, she's from America and she's just really uncomfortable speaking in front of other people. And then Ling's person said that he prefers small classes so that he can ask the teacher, which is kind of what I expected my roommate to say, but maybe just because she's shy, she doesn't prefer that. And then said that they don't like having bad teachers. And then my roommate and the Brazilian individual both said they don't like working with other people. For the Brazilian person, it was because he's not confident in his speaking abilities, and for my roommate, just because she's shy. And then the next question is what characteristics make a good teacher? And they all said they have to be engaging, funny, and interesting, which I guess are uncontrollable attributions because you can't control someone else's personality, I guess. And then we asked the strategies for how they study, and my roommate said that she does flashcards, and the other two said that they study in advance, which not too different. And then the last question is, what do you hope to get out of school? And they all said to get a good job and a degree. And the person from America said that he wants to start his own company. So these are all extrinsic. They're not really doing it because they want to learn, but because they want to get something out of it.
And I'll do the second part, which is about motivation. I think everyone has their own motivation. Jessie's partner Lindsay wants to do well because she doesn't want her parents to be disappointed, and she also wants her money for tuition to be worthy. And my partner Steve works hard because he has a specific goal. He wants to set up his own company, and he needs to learn what he needs to support his dream. And Diamond's partner Fabio's motivation is that he wants to get a degree, and I think all of them are the extrinsic motivation. Lindsay said that she likes Spanish because she likes her teacher for the Spanish course, but she doesn't like writing course because she doesn't like the teacher for the writing course, and I think this kind would be regarded as unconscionable. Steve likes the feeling that he can speak Chinese better, but actually he doesn't like the learning process itself. Diamond's partner Fabio likes learning the math and chemistry because he can do well on it, but he dislikes writing because English is not his first language, so it would be kind of difficult for him. And I think this is unstable because if he practices more, he can do better. And as for the question, what makes them want to do well in school? Lindsay said that she feels her parents make her want to succeed, and her pressure comes from her friends, parents, and teachers. And also the pressure from getting a good job after graduation. Steve's pressure comes from his goal and his friend who is learning the same thing with him. Fabio's pressure comes from the people who is also studying in America with him. And everyone attributes their success to their effort but not to the luck. They think if they practice more and learn more, they can be more successful.
I'm going to be discussing new thoughts. So from each, Fabio asked me a question once before in one of the hosted events, and I really couldn't answer it because it was a very interesting question. But today I actually found the answer to it in class. Fabio asked me, did I feel as if international students were babied? And I asked him to elaborate on what he meant by that. And he was actually saying, like, when it comes to writing, are they actually given like some type of leeway due to the fact that they are from another country and they're actually required to write in English and make cohesive papers and make it flow well? And it's just like, by them just now learning this language, are they actually penalized for this, or are they actually like baby, like it's some sympathy that comes along with that? And I said that was a very interesting question because in my WRA class, when I used to do peer review, there were some students from China, and when I used to read their papers, they weren't as cohesive as the students that were American, but it was understandable because it's like you are new to this whole culture, and it's like we actually have sort of kind of an advantage because we have always been working on our writing, and we were in school, we were always given a vocabulary test and required to define all types of words to where we have an enhanced vocabulary, which is not fair to the international students. So I said that was a very interesting question. I didn't know how to answer that. However, in class today, I learned that the answer to this is called cultural competency. I learned that teachers actually learn to accommodate those that are culturally different from us, because it's like they don't have the same advantages as we have, as I stated before. And to conclude this, I just learned that, stop it. To conclude this, I learned that individuals overcome this by trying to manage their uncertainty by always being mindful of their thoughts and actions, as I stated before, which Fabio actually practices to become a better communicator.
So the last section is implications for teaching, and the first implication is all of our interviewees said that they like teachers who are interesting and enjoyable. So I would say just make the class interesting and make it fun, because people will lose focus. Pretty self-explanatory. And then the other implication is that people who are less confident in their speaking abilities need more practice. So those who English might not be their first language, or like international students, I would say maybe call on them more or give them more opportunities to practice their English, because if they don't get any opportunities, then they could deal with this anxiety or nervousness in speaking their whole lives. And so I think if they get more practice, they can get much better at it, and it will help them in the long run. And that concludes our video report. Thank you for giving us the opportunities to interact with people who you normally wouldn't interact with. Except for me, because it's my roommate, but